Hello and welcome to the Data Show. It is Wednesday, June 24th, and Felipe and I are back with a better internet connection than ever. How are you doing today, Felipe?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Yufeng. Happy to see everyone already on the chat. Some of our regulars, always happy to see GDG London that stays awake until this time
Such
to join
dedication.
us. Say hi, everyone on the chat. Yes. Um, and we promise this time we're not going to have
That's right.
internet problems
That's
like
right.
last
My
time.
internet, the only way to break my internet is if you cut the fiber to the building or cut the fiber to the east coast of the US. So, for those who are in
Yes.
London, you might have to really rush across the Atlantic Ocean to make it. But yeah,
But you know that there are fiber eating
fiber
sharks
eating
around.
sharks,
We have
especially
footage of
bred
that.
fiber eating sharks,
Yes.
they eat a
Yeah,
diet of high fiber. It's good for their digestive system.
that's a very good
Thank you.
joke. So, uh, there's a lot we have to
That's right.
share today. I brought some new things for you,
Great.
Yufeng. Um, Also, last week we had to interrupt kind of our transmissions and move to a different medium because we have internet problems. So, things I want to show you today. I created a new function in BigQuery to do
Pivot.
pivots, and people have wanted to do yes pivots. Do you play
I
basketball?
do not play basketball. I have seen basketball being played, and I have also tried to play poorly.
Ah, I see. Well, I don't play basketball either, but pivots in BigQuery has been one of the most frequently asked questions. Every other week, someone asks that on Stack Overflow, and now I have a solution for them. So I would love to show you that
Perfect.
blog post and how it's done. What
DBT.
else? That's DBT. Yes, DBT. Last week we had to interrupt our DBT installation, so let's get a clean installation on your computer so everyone can see how to install DBT
Yes.
on their computers.
And then, last but not least,
And
we've got exciting.
and
Yes.
last but not least, we want to look at Stack Overflow data. So we're going to use DBT, we're going to use pivots, and we're going to see the most latest, freshest Stack Overflow data in BigQuery.
Yes.
Um,
Just,
People say that even if your internet is great, you think mine is being
uh-oh.
choppy.
Move more
Uh,
slowly.
I move more slowly, or I might have to switch to an alternative internet. I will make
Yeah, you're
my
you're coming in and out in terms of like sometimes you're sharp, like you're sharp now, but once in a while you'll go a little bit fuzzy. I think you're smooth for now, at least, from what I can see.
good. I will go standard definition
Oh
instead of
no.
high definition. People will not be able to see my
Yes.
wrinkles. Um, okay, so how about we get started doing a clean install of DBT on your Google
Yes.
Cloud
Let's do it.
account?
Let me
Because
open.
I really want to show people how they can install DBT very cleanly on their GCP
Mm-hmm.
account, and they don't need anything. They don't need a credit card. They don't need a billing account. They just need their free account in GCP where they have access to every month to a terabyte of queries, but also to the Cloud Shell. And on the Cloud Shell, they can
That's
install
right.
DBT.
So let's
Sound good?
let me move us over to our coding view, where for whatever reason, Cloud Console is loading slowly again, but that's a separate issue. Uh, so we've got
Yes, it's okay. We're
yeah,
just
and
loading the
oh yeah,
Cloud
you can
Console.
see my window, so that's good. Now everyone else can see my window. Eventually, Cloud Console will
Exactly.
load.
Yeah. In the meantime, you can load a BigQuery window too, so we can do things inside BigQuery.
Multitasking, it's,
Multitasking, yes.
it's risky.
Let's use your GCP account to the max.
Maybe it'll help if I just go to the home page. There. Ooh, I can go straight to BigQuery. That'll be good.
Yes. Why is it taking time to load? Is your internet really infallible? you think?
Hope so. I'm not sure if it's the internet or just the extra load placed on the system due to all the streaming, you know? That's the one thing that we can't account for
I
is
see.
when streaming, everything kind of works a little bit harder. Anyways, the Cloud Shell is spinning up, so we will get there.
Spinning up, the Cloud Shell is loading, BigQuery is loading on the other tab. People can see me, I'm less choppy right now. And Peter Mueller has a question. Wasn't this built as time series analysis using ML?
It was built that way, but sometimes your billing doesn't match your actual usage.
Yes. No, so we were going to do time series now, but we were depending on a beta launch that didn't happen yesterday. So I'm waiting for the beta launch so we can make this decision about that. But Peter and Kamal Khan and everyone here, I promise you we have a good session, especially if we can get DBT installed on your computers.
Yes.
And anyways, when we start doing time series analysis on our next episode, then the Stack Overflow data will be very important because I want to do time series analysis with Stack Overflow, and I will show you that in a minute. Do we have a good deal, my friends? But yes, Chase, I'm going, well, anomalies, that's a good question. Anomalies we were never going to show, but with the Stack Overflow, we're going to look at the time series of how the page views move quarter by quarter for every tag. And then the question is, how do we analyze those time series with Stack Overflow? And part of that will come with a new beta that is coming soon. I'm very excited about that beta. But in the meantime, we're going to use this show to get everyone started with that Stack Overflow data, so we don't have to rehash that.
Perfect.
Later. Deal?
Yes.
Deal. Thank you.
All right. Looks like we're all set up over here.
Yeah.
We've got a big-ish Cloud
Cool.
Shell. Let me know if you want it to be bigger font.
So, yeah, so first thing that everyone should know, if you have a Google Cloud account, you can come to the console. The console has a free shell, our Cloud Shell, and anyone can load it. And the first thing we have to do to install DBT is just to call pip3.
Yeah, so should I delete,
Install.
how should I go? I guess we'll see what, we'll install over it, that's fine.
Yeah.
DBT.
Yes, and you can go --user --upgrade.
See if they install, they released an.
And DBT BigQuery. Cancel.
Cancel.
Yes. So DBT has a lot of dependencies, so cancel that. Instead of just installing DBT, install DBT BigQuery, and that will keep you out of the dependency hell.
Ah, so
Upgrade
that's
DBT,
the
BigQuery.
significance of using DBT BigQuery instead of just DBT by itself.
Yeah.
Is the dependency, and that's a lot faster too.
Exactly.
Well, that's probably mostly because it was installed before.
Cool. So now that you have DBT there, I have a DBT project that I have shared on GitHub, and you might want to clone it. So all you need to do is, you can type it also if you want. Let's go to Felipe Hoffa. That's my GitHub. And my repository where I share code snippets is code snippets. Ooh, how fancy. And now let's clone it into your Cloud Shell. And with this, you will run my code to analyze, to create Stack Overflow tables in my repository. Pam. That was fast. Now you can go to CD code snippets. And you can go to Stack Overflow _DBT. Stack Overflow _DBT. And because you just installed DBT, you can run DBT run. And you don't have it in your path, so instead you can do .local/bin/dbt Yes,
I
local
remember this now.
bin dbt. This is because we're being lazy. We should add it to the path. But just
Yeah,
say
it's
run.
interesting that it installs it in a hidden folder in .local of all places.
Well, that's because we did a user level
Aha.
installation instead of as root. And so, okay, we have the first problem here. It doesn't find the profile name
Yeah, should we
Stack
take a look
Overflow.
briefly at
Now
what's
you
in
can
this folder?
change on, yeah. So this is dbt, but we don't want to change
Mm-hmm.
anything here. We want to change something on your local dbt
Right,
configuration.
right.
So you have to edit in your home folder .dbt/profiles.yml. Yeah, but you need vi or something like that.
What's that?
You need vi,
Oh.
something to edit that file.
Yes. What's the full
Yes.
file name? .dbt/ what was it?
Profiles, I think.
Ah, there it is.
Yes, that it is. So we're going to add a new one here called Stack Overflow. It's identical to mlab that we created last week, but now we need one configuration for Stack Overflow.
Great. So we have our mlab one.
So you can see that the
So what is this? This is line 12. This is line 5. So that's 7 YY Shift P. Oh yeah, still more or less got my Vim. Not perfect, but it's close.
Yeah, you know how to copy lines in
I know a couple things.
AI. Cool. Yes. So instead of mlab, we are going to call this one Stack Overflow, and the important part is that it's a BigQuery connection, and it's connected to your project. Your project is CloudML demo. It's going to use OAuth, so we don't need to do any weird things with passwords or service accounts. Everything is handled. And the dataset is, you may want to create a new dataset.
Something like this, perhaps.
Yeah, cool. Let's see if this runs with dbt. Oh, that's not how you copy on.
I am. Yeah, don't know everything on Vim yet. All right, run it.
Run. Now the question is, will dbt create this new dataset?
Or will it trip over the fact that this dataset doesn't exist yet?
Yeah, apparently dbt is also able to create the dataset. If you're doing this on your free account, then you might need to create the dataset manually, because on the super free account, you need to put in the dataset that tables inside that dataset can only live for 60 days. But in this case, it's working, and it's going to get. This is about to take 2 minutes.
All right.
Let me show you my code. If you go back to GitHub in the meantime, let me show you what's happening here. You Stack Overflow dbt. Models is where we put most of the code for
I'm
dbt.
finding out we're frequently going to this models folder, and that may be worth pointing out to folks. Is like, if you're looking for something, it probably is in models.
And I'm really happy that all you needed to do to start running this creating these tables on your own dataset was cloning my dbt project and setting some local configuration.
Which one do you want to look at?
Let's see at source merged. Source, I'm calling that source because that one is bringing data from the original project to the shape on how I want it in this dataset.
And just as a random note for folks, it looks like GitHub, the UI is updated. Did you notice that? It's slightly...
Yes, the new GitHub UI looks
more curves. Yes, that's all. Now you can all take to Twitter and have the complaint fest about the UI, and then we'll all get used to it until the next time they make a change, and then we'll complain again.
Exactly. I don't like change. But yes, basically we are running this query, which is looking at the Stack Overflow, a lot of Stack Overflow questions, creating a table, blah, blah, blah. And it's all happening in the background. I can explain to you later step by step what's happening here. But the nice thing is that we are running these queries on the query.
One thing I want to call out to folks is the this is a comment, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
just that it's an interesting
Yeah, this is
format. Like I think this is the first time that I've seen curly brace hashtag or curly brace number sign as the delimiters for comments, and you need another one at the closing side. Yeah, it's interesting. That's all. That's there's a,
okay. So basically, what DBT does, it lets you write basically
yeah,
SQL queries inside a template, and the template language uses that
yeah.
kind of comments and instructions. So I'm running a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of
No, I
code
see
inside
that.
the
It's
template,
very
so I
very
can.
particular. Yeah, so this takes a little bit of effort to parse through. And then what's with this? This looks like it's a 3-character symbolic, representation here. It's curly brace
Yeah.
%sign
Yes,
dash, and then you can run some kind of look like Python-esque code.
exactly. So I'm trying to do some optimization
Yeah.
in that block. So every time I run this model, it only brings new data
Mm-hmm.
to BigQuery, and this optimizes how much data I'm processing because this is an incremental
Mm-hmm.
model. So next quarter, when I get new data, this will run fluidly, but it's just optimizations that I'm trying to build into
Yeah.
DBT.
Some advanced
Uh,
SQL there, folks.
how is our process
It's
running?
done. It has 0 errors.
Cool, cool. So if you go to BigQuery now, if you reload
Ah,
your
yes.
BigQuery
The
tab,
full hard refresh.
yes, I will show you a secret so you don't need to
Oh,
refresh
you
every
we
time.
figured out a way around that. That's great because
Yes, it's
it's a
a
trick.
trick. But
Trick. Yeah.
mm, how is everyone doing on the live chat? Any questions?
Yeah. Feel free to let us know your thoughts on these.
Yes, Chris Carroll is replying to your question of why did the template look weird. Let's go back to
Oh,
my
interesting.
model.
Yeah, Chris says the
Yes,
dash is to trim white space in the code output when it runs through the templating engine. That is fascinating.
exactly. So if when I used percent, that was leaving a lot of white space
Uh huh.
behind. With the dash, I stop it from leaving so much
Very
white
cool.
space. Yeah. Thank you, Chris, for that. Let's go back to BigQuery because it should have loaded now all of the tables that we created.
Yes. Yeah. BigQuery is struggling a little bit with the UI render today.
Ah, I think it's
It's
your
probably my
computer.
computer. Somebody needs to buy me
Yeah.
some more memory. Did
What?
you see the new MacBook Pro 13s that were announced? The default memory spec is
Oh
double
no,
now, and so is the storage. So it's pretty exciting.
I see. You should download more RAM.
Yes,
Um, so there is a
there
new dataset
is.
here
Look at
that you
that.
created, DBT
Great,
Stack
and all of
Overflow.
these are created.
Uh, exactly. DBT created these 4 tables. And of course, you might want documentation on
Yeah.
what happened here. Let's go back to DBT. And you can run now same DBT, but instead of run, we want docs generate.
Separate words, right?
Yes.
We have a question here. Tibor says that they can't find DBT, the .dbt/profiles YAML.
I think Tibor
Okay,
already found it because now he's saying,
fair
don't
enough.
mind me. So DBT also generates documentation of all the tables it created, how they're related to each other. This is pretty cool. And the other cool part is that now we can serve these
Mm-hmm.
docs. So
That's right.
again, DBT docs serve.
So this will help us see what was happening. I remember this. This was really cool. And Cloud Shell has that cool forwarding thing. You can see it when I mouse over. It's not actually going to localhost. It's doing the redirect, even though it's completely transparent to me. In situations where you aren't able to do that, what you'll want to do is go to, I think it's in this little keyboard. No, where is that? Oh, it's this little web preview, this eye. You can preview something on port 8080, and that'll do the same thing. And you can actually choose.
Exactly. But Cloud Shell just generated
Yep.
the correct link. So you can go to the tab to the right. How beautiful is that you can click on a localhost link and here you
Yeah.
have your uh, a local host kind of serving. So you can look at your database, your models. Ah, yes, our models of dash stack
Mm-hmm.
views, the merge. And we can see how with the button on the bottom right.
Ooh, that's right. I remember this. Yeah, how the tables were created.
Exactly. So the four tables that you see in BigQuery, this is how they are related to each other, and you can add more documentation. And now you can show clearly people how everything is related to everything. I think you can double click on each one.
Whee! I can drag them.
Exactly. So you can see that these four tables are all related. So at the end of
Mm-hmm.
this process, I can create a table specifically for my dashboard in Data Studio.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
it works.
Which one do you want to double click into?
Let's see the dashboard table.
The last one.
The last one, yes. Yes.
Oh, I double click doesn't work,
Does it
but
double
right
click?
click does something.
Oh,
Oh, I can
right
even
click
export
does,
the
view
PNG
documentation.
to like post it in my documentation, for instance, right? Ooh,
Oh, yes.
refocus. That doesn't do anything. Oh, it did something. Oh, just. All right, let's look at the docs for that particular thing. Oh, okay, so it just takes me back. It does the same thing as if I just clicked on this.
Exactly. But basically it's telling me that I didn't add a lot of documentation, but we can see what this table is about, how many rows it has, and how it's related to everything else. And that's all about installing DBT.
Nice.
Yes. Now I would love to show you what I wrote today. I published today how to do
Yes.
pivots
All
in
right, on
BigQuery.
to topic number 2 today.
Yes, and we're going to bring everything together. Easy pivots in BigQuery in one step. How cool is this? And before we do anything else, let's run a pivot on your BigQuery
Great.
screen.
Should I copy this in?
So, yeah, just copy that into your BigQuery, and I will explain what's happening here. We need to change only the destination table.
Yes. Change it to my project, right?
Yeah, someone is asking, Chris is asking how to run DBT on a regular interval. I have the same question. I really want to put it behind a Docker image so we can run it with Cloud Run and
Does the table need to...
the Cloud Scheduler.
Does this table need to already exist, or will it create it?
Okay, so, sorry, I was answering the question, but let me come back to our query here. The first table exists, that's the source table, but the destination table is going to be created.
It will automatically be created?
If you have a data set.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I needed to make it.
Yeah. So what we're doing here is a pivot. We are taking the first table there. We are going to create the second table. And it will create a new row with each date. For each day, we will have a row. And in each column, we will have a stored, the store number. And the data in each column will be the sum of all the sales in dollars for that day.
Interesting. Would it be worth maybe taking a peek at the original table just to help folks see the structure?
Of course. Of course. Let me show you how to quickly jump to that table. Copy paste the name there. Copy. Put it outside of the call. Right in the window, select. Just let's do as if we were going to write a SQL query from that table. Select. This is my trick to jump to any table, even if the query cannot see it. Select star from.
Oh, you need backticks.
Give me some backticks, please. Yeah.
This keyboard has a interesting backtick mechanism. All right, now it's clickable.
And now press Control, Command, or whatever, and click there.
Now we make the jump. Prepare for the jump to hyperspace.
That's my trick to find even new tables and Now it's loaded, and
Awesome.
this is my dirty little trick. And for example, if we had created new tables, you could go to the new table, jump there
Yeah.
that way. And yeah, this is the source data. So the source data is I have invoices. This invoice for this store at this on this day was for this much money. This is how people can see what kind of alcohol
Yeah.
people are
And so
buying
it
in
looks
Iowa.
like we're gonna try to summarize the table a little bit, since these are individual.
Exactly. So exactly, and it would be pretty easy to write a summary of dollars sold per day per store. But someone who wants to do a pivot wants to do things like, okay, yes, I want the summary per day and per store, but I want to see each store. I want to see one column for each
Yeah.
store. And then it's like, oh, that's too
Yeah.
hard. I cannot create a dynamic number of columns in
Yes.
BigQuery. But now I can. That's my solution to
Gotcha.
do that.
And so is this using? Oh, I see. We're using your custom UDF here. So this isn't like this itself doesn't use dynamic SQL. Your function uses the dynamic SQL.
Exactly. All the dynamic SQL is hidden there. And this is just a store procedure that anyone that wants to pivot
Awesome.
can do.
Shall we try running it?
Yeah, I think you already ran it, but
Oh,
let's
did
run it
I?
again. It doesn't matter. It's idempotent. Just run it and we will see
Yeah.
what's happening here. I'm super excited because this is a really, really easy way to pivot. You just need to say, basically declare what you
Mhm.
want, and things happen.
The things are happening.
Exactly. And we can go and dig into how this works, but in 7 seconds, it runs
Nice.
3 statements. Let's see the results if you scroll a little bit up so we can see what happened there.
Yep.
Yes, let's see the results of the third step.
Yes. Interesting that they show the steps like that first.
Oh yeah, I would love to get only the last one, but I will show you what happened in it. On the third step, you can see the table that
Yes.
was
We'll
created.
go to the table.
Go to the table.
And preview. The other nice trick to see everything.
Yes. So here you can see what happened. We got what we wanted, which is
One store per column,
for each day.
right? These are stores?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the store number. So the function added a letter in front of it, so a number could be the name of a column.
And so you have the store number at the top. The dollars are the contents inside. The dates are the rows.
Yep.
And then we're summing them up to fill in. So these two, oh, I see. This is column value. Okay, so not necessarily related to columns, but just value. But I see what you mean. Like it's column value because it's the sale dollar for that store, not for that day. Well, it is for the day, but like it's both. Yeah. Nice.
Exactly. And you could change the aggregation for an average. You could change the aggregation for.
Yeah, and I also saw the original table had
Um,
like volume. So what if you wanted to aggregate multiple columns together? Because I think it had something about like, I forget the original table, but I think there were like volume sold of like beer, volume sold of wine, volume sold of liquor. And what if I just wanted volume sold of all three, right? So then we'd be summing multiple columns together for the same date and store. Would the function support that?
I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
would
solve
this
that.
would your pivot function support that?
But let me show you how
Uh-huh.
this works.
Yeah, let's
Just
dig
to
into it first.
show you. If you go to my blog post here, so I have several examples, but what I want to show you is the magic store procedure
Yeah.
that I created.
So here's our results. We replicated this.
Yep.
Reviewing the above code, we already talked through this, the actual call.
Yes, and Rain is asking if you can do all of this for free on the cloud. Yes, in GCP with BigQuery, with the Cloud Shell, you get access to all of this without a credit card, which is
That's
pretty
right.
cool for a free tier.
Yeah, BigQuery has an extremely powerful free
Uh,
tier.
So here you have another example. If you want a summary per month, instead of just saying date, you can ask for, let's truncate the date to the month, and it will work as well.
Nice.
You have the freedom to change, to do some
Yeah.
manipulation.
Yeah, instead of just using the value directly, you can manipulate it and still aggregate based on that aggregated, manipulated value. It's cool.
Yes, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of this. Also, if you have multiple dimensions to summarize
Oh,
for,
okay. So this might do the trick for what I was trying to talk about, right? With this is ID
yeah,
and date. Oh, I see. This is adding another kind of row column.
yeah, this is a different table, which is for each station, weather station around the world in the dataset
Mm-hmm.
GCHND. I'm taking data that is in long form. I'm creating a column for precipitation, a column for the minimum temperature, a column for the maximum temperature, and I'm getting the average per day per each station. Don't worry if that temperature looks too high to you. 344 is not Fahrenheit.
It's Kelvin.
It's not
Oh.
Kelvin either. The maximum temperature there is in Celsius multiplied by 10.
You don't like decimals.
That's how NOAA publishes its
Oh,
data.
okay. That's funny.
Yes. Yeah, on their other weather table, they publish it in
Okay.
Fahrenheit. But for this one that is scientific, they use Celsius, and they use Celsius multiplied by 10.
That's pretty random, I gotta say.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
I like
I
Celsius.
like having
know it's-
this example, right, showing that you can aggregate by multiple values, because this conceptually is very similar to having multiple group bys. Essentially, right? We're breaking out all the group bys. So this is
Yeah.
basically group by ID and date.
Exactly. These are the group bys, and you can add as many group bys as you want. And it works. I
Yeah.
made it work. And you can manipulate each of those columns too, as seen in the previous example. Next example.
More complex use cases.
Haha. Rain is asking what happened
It's
to Stack
coming.
Overflow. The next case is going to be Stack Overflow. But we were just looking at DBT. So we have a more complex case. Perfect, this works. This one, I'm creating a view before
Okay.
doing this. So now, to make Rainy happy that's asking about Stack Overflow, let's go to the next example.
Number of Stack Overflow questions per year, with each column as one of the top 10 tags. So what is this? It's me years on the left-hand side, and then across the top through 10 tags. But won't the top 10
Yes.
tags change from year to year?
Yeah, but I'm doing my best here. So let's run this query so we can get back to
All right.
Stack Overflow. As we said at the beginning, this is a mix of
It's a grab bag.
we solved DBT, we created the Stack Overflow tables that we wanted, and now we're going to go to the main BigQuery table, the public table for
Yep.
Stack Overflow, to look at the top views for the top 10 tags.
And I'll set this to be my project.
Good. Yes, you have to change the destination table so it can create that table. Let's run this. Thank you, Rainy, for bringing us back to
Yes.
Stack Overflow.
Navdeep also asked before, what benefit do we get by doing this in BQverse, the BigQuery universe, versus either connected sheets or BI tools like Looker? Oh no. There's another point I needed to change for the view, I bet.
Yes.
Create view, yeah. Whoops.
Yes. So yeah, we are doing this inside BigQuery because I love doing everything inside BigQuery. And also we can use the steps to feed the next step, wherever you're doing next inside BigQuery. It's okay, we're going to fix this. Now the source table is the view that you just created.
Right. I don't need to, so these are both mine then.
Yes, exactly. So when you have a table that is complex, in this case, the Stack Overflow table
Yeah.
has the tags as a string, and I want to split the tags with this pivot code. You can create a view first. We're creating a view, and then we can fit to pivot that field. Oh, say on the top, say create or replace view. It's okay. Every time we get a warning, we show people how to solve the warning.
I actually am familiar with this this split tags on Nest call. I had to deal with this as well. Me and Sarah did a talk at Next last year about doing running NLP on the Stack Overflow post, like on the questions and trying to predict the tags. But we went through quite a bit of work to get all the tags processed and pulled out. That's funny.
Yes, no, you really need to do that split. So we handle that split here. We was basically splitting by the ampersand. The last step is the creation of this table.
So we're extracting the year from the creation date, and we're just calling it year. We're gonna have tags, and the value is gonna be the view count of that tag. Interesting. I wonder. I still am curious how that's gonna show up in terms of the each year having a different set of top 10 tags.
It's just we needed a set.
Oh, okay. So there's still.
This is how it shows. So you can see
it still shows the name of the tag. Oh, okay, but we ended up with no, that's still just those columns.
Yes. So JavaScript, Java, Python, C, PHP, Android.
Okay, and it's the sort order is based on what I assume the most recent year or something like that, because like you see Android is not in sorted order back in 2008, but at some point I'm sure maybe it's the total.
Yeah. So these are the most frequent tags. It's I need to do something to choose the top 10 tags when doing the pivoting. These are kind of the top, and it makes sense.
We have a question on the live chat from Rainey about where the queries are. So I'm gonna paste this blog post into the live chat. The queries.
Or on the live chat, just paste the link to the blog post, and we can see everything here.
Perfect. And so Rainey, you can follow along the blog post as we go. That's where I'm getting all the queries from too.
Now, let's query this table. Yes. If you press on the...
Oh, right. We can actually click this button, query table.
Yes.
If you're not zoomed in like me, you'll actually see the word query table, and you won't have to identify it by the logo.
Exactly. And just do a select star. It's a very small table. We don't mind, because it's our summary table that we just created here. And now that you got the results, give me an export.
Sorry, the BigQuery UI is taking a moment to catch up with I clicked too many things at once. All right.
You need to explore data. Yeah, no, I don't want to explore with Data Studio. I need more options there.
What other options are we looking for?
Oh, it didn't give you more options. I wanted to send this data to a sheet.
Yeah, sometimes you have that option. Whatever happened to that? Is it because it's coming from a view? No, this is a table. This is a real table.
You are running.
Right? Yeah, this is not a view.
Oh no. What if you click Save Results?
Yes. So this was also something.
Now save the results.
You can copy to clipboard. That's amazing. You can copy 16,000 rows in one clipboard shot.
Yeah, that's
so
my favorite.
Funny.
But the easy one, since we don't have anywhere to copy it, let's copy this to a Google Sheet.
Great. Rainey wants to load it from GitHub. Rainey wants to load these queries from GitHub, not from your blog post. I assume the queries are on GitHub somewhere, maybe in your code snippets.
Yeah, that's what we just created. We created some tables with Stack Overflow data with DBT. So check Hoffa code snippets Stack Overflow DBT. And now that we have the sheet with all of this data, you can click on Explore Data on as soon as it's loaded. Your internet is fast, but your computer needs more RAM.
Yes, that is what I'm starting to realize. I must close more tabs. What's funny, of course, is like I'm looking at the activity monitor over here, and it's saying that there's still 5 gigabytes of physical memory that's not used. However, the amount of swap used is 6 gigabytes. So, whatever.
Yeah, I think your problem, Yufeng, is that you need to reinitialize your Chrome that shows that has an old version, and because you have it open for so long, it's just acting slow. That's how Chrome complains. But yes, let's click Explore.
Yes, Explore.
And next time, bring me a fresh Chrome.
Bring me a fresh Chrome.
Yes.
Cool.
So this is one benefit of doing the pivot in BigQuery. Now it's super easy to visualize it inside a sheet. I love the third option. So if you drag and drop that chart on
the bar chart?
No, the third one.
Oh, I can't count apparently.
That one. It's okay. Some people start counting on 0. But that's my favorite. And because we already brought all of the pivoted data into Sheets, it was really easy to create this visualization. Now, all we are looking here is the number of questions per year for each tag, not the number of views. And if you delete row 14, because row 14 is an incomplete year, why is it the row 14?
I think I hit the key too lightly on my keyboard.
Yeah. Okay, so here you can see how JavaScript used to be super cool in 2016. We had so many new questions in 2016.
Still kind of cool.
But I know, but it's going down. Just the number of questions. And the tag that keeps growing and growing and growing and growing is Python. Look at that linear growth on number of.
Wow.
So
that's something. It's interesting to me that the general trend after, like, it's almost like the total body of this chart, if you ignore Python, sort of peaks around 2015, give or so, between 2014 and 2016. And kind of everyone's trending downwards over the last 3 or so years, right? From 2017, 2018, 2019, everybody is generally going down. And so I wonder what would happen if we normalize this against total questions asked on Stack Overflow, period, right? Like, does this indicate a slight decrease in Stack Overflow usage, globally?
Oh, we're
getting there? Okay.
But before we do that, let's go back to our pivot function, where we got, this is just the number of questions, because I'm doing a count. Bring me back the code that was doing the pivot, because I did a count. That's just number of questions.
Yeah, we can do better than just the count.
And if you don't have that function, you can... there it is.
Copy it.
No. Because you already had to change a lot. Bring it back from the query history.
Bring it back now, yo. All right.
Bring it back, yo. So create a replace view. Let's go back there. And what we need now is, instead of the count, we need the sum of the views.
Oh, the sum of the views, right, instead of the count of questions. Yeah. Do you know what the column name is called by any chance?
No, it's already view count. I just need to change the
Oh,
operation.
oh, oh. Oh, you
Change
want
count
to...
for sum. Yeah.
How does this... Aren't the
Uh,
counts already the same? I mean, aren't the counts already... What are we summing up here?
no, in SQL, count is only counting if the value is null or not.
Okay, and what are the actual values representing?
So, the values represent the number of views of each question.
Oh, so count gave us the number
But
of
we were counting.
questions.
Yeah. We were counting the
And
number
now
of
we're
yes.
counting the
So
number
it
of
was
questions.
just a one,
Okay.
1 or 0. And now we are, and now query the table that you
Yep.
got, the last one. We just need to run a query. Why not just a straight table? Because I want to bring the values to that sheet. So go to table, query table, select star. And now we're going to see like the volume of views
Right.
that Stack Overflow gets for the questions. And well, now that you get
Yeah,
the
click
results,
run.
we
Oh, there we go.
can copy the table. Now, do this. Instead of copying the results to
Yeah,
a new
just
sheet, copy them to
clipboard.
your
Yeah.
the clipboard. You really wanted to
Yeah.
do that? Let's do it. I love doing this.
That wasn't there before.
Because now you don't need a
Right.
new sheet. Yes.
Sweet.
You don't need a new sheet. You can just go to the first cell.
We
Go
can
to the
open
first
a new
cell.
tab too.
Let's overwrite this. Let's overwrite so the chart will
Oh, the
keep
chart
working.
will keep working. That's exciting.
Yes.
All right.
That's
Dig
why
it.
I keep doing
Let's
this.
paste it in.
That's one of my favorite BigQuery
So it's like
secrets.
the
when I'm
same
working with a
query, but it's like a hack. Oh my word.
sheet.
All right, so I'll delete the last row. Not that it makes a difference in this case, just for consistency. But holy smokes.
Yeah. Holy smokes. And this is where we're gonna have to fix
Yeah?
some things.
Maybe log scale on the y-axis, just so we can see something.
So somehow, why are the questions on 2010 and 2011 getting the most page views?
Let's see. Is this Java? That's unexpected. Why is Java so high? Is it being...
Oh, because some questions for Java are getting a
Yeah,
lot
like
of views. Regardless of the number of questions, sometimes tags, for example, Git and TensorFlow get the same number of new questions, but the questions for Git get so many more page views. So these are more of the real trends.
Fair enough.
But this is still not enough. Because this is weird. Now we are looking at how many page views a question that was created in 2010 got from its creation time until today.
Yes, okay. We have to divide by the age of the question.
Yeah, but
Sort
that's
of.
not fair either, because maybe it got all of the views in 2010, or maybe it's getting the views still in 2020. We don't know. We have no way of knowing.
The data doesn't tell us.
All that Stack Overflow produces is one column that says view count, but it doesn't tell you when. It's a summary of the whole life of that question.
Yeah, so Rainey's wondering if this is getting normalized. It is definitely not normalized in any sense.
It's not normalized, but you could divide by number of years, but it wouldn't be a true... Because a question from 2010 can be super relevant today too, and we don't know how many views that question is getting. And don't worry, my friend, we have a solution for
I still kind of want to divide by the total number of views of all the questions getting added together, but it still doesn't quite capture it because we don't have it broken down by year.
Exactly. So let me share with you. Do we have our code tunnel open? But I want to show you.
So I have it open.
I want to show you a dashboard where I'm solving that problem, and in our last 10 minutes, we will show people how I solve that problem.
Are you able to find the code tunnel by any chance?
I think I have the same document open, but somehow it's not
Oh,
updating
well,
it for
the
you.
document's still loading because,
Oh, everything is still loading. Yes, bring me a new Chrome
yeah.
next time. Yes. So the first line should be different. Uh, Reload it in a new tab if
It's
not.
still thinking.
What happens if you open this document in
No,
a new
this
tab?
isn't a new tab. You want me to open it again?
Like,
Because this
yes,
is still spinning, so give it a second.
I know. So opening a new tab maybe will be more refreshed. But yeah, your computer is
Yeah, it
acting
shows
weird,
that you're
and I will
here.
blame.
Yeah, it
There it
shows that
is.
you're here. So I'm going to close that one to
Yes.
reduce the strain. It's the strain of live stream.
No, but open Data
Yes.
Studio. Well, oh, yes. Bring me Data Studio back, and I'll show you how I solved this problem of Stack Overflow doesn't tell me how many views each question got per
Right.
quarter, but I know the answer.
Huh.
This is how we started this session, and that's what we did with
Oh,
DBT.
you're going to use DBT.
Yes, and as Rainy was asking us, is this normalized? What I'm going to show you now with Data Studio, it's normalized because it's the percentage of views that each tag gets quarterly on Stack Overflow.
Interesting. How did you get the denominator?
So basically, I'm getting for
Uh-huh.
each quarter how many total views Stack Overflow got on
Right.
that quarter, and I'm multiplying it so it doesn't look like 0.001%,
Yeah.
and things look. Uh, so now you can see the
Yes.
reality of how Python, starting in Q1 2018, Python is getting more views than anything.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing as big as this. JavaScript is like
It's hanging out. It's very stable.
stable.
In Java,
JavaScript is defending space, but it's not going anywhere. Java is going down. C# is going
yeah.
down.
But it's going down just as much as
Uh,
everyone else, mostly. There's only one that is.
yeah, and if you want to,
I was just saying, there's
Mhm.
only one language that's fighting that trend. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, let's look at minor languages. Let's look, for example, Ruby versus Go. Um, my friends, I apologize if you love Ruby. I'm going to show you something that it's not that nice. Sorry for the spoiler. So Ruby, and you say
Oh, I
only
hit Ruby
Ruby.
on Rails by accident.
Yeah, only.
There's
It's
so
okay.
many Ruby on Rails
You can
versions.
look
Oh
at
my
Ruby on Rails.
goodness.
Yeah, somehow Ruby on Rails get more page views than Ruby, but you can see
It's
that
not doing so
Ruby
hot.
is
What are we
going
comparing Ruby
down.
to?
And
Golang?
Go? Let's compare it to
Oh, it's not
Golang.
Golang.
Yeah, just Go.
There's
Just Go
GoLand,
here.
which is funny. Maybe someone can make another project called Go Ocean. Wow.
Look at these two.
Peas in a pod. Mirror images.
Exactly. Ruby is going up. So Ruby is going down while Go is going up. Or if you wanted to look at BigQuery,
Yeah, we'll throw.
is BigQuery going up or down? And show me just BigQuery because I want to show
Just
you
this one?
what's. Yeah. Or let's. You can do it only or
Oh,
not.
you want to do only? Don't want to
Yes.
compare it to Ruby and Go.
Not because I don't want to compare it, but I want to show you the bottom
Okay.
chart here. Look at how BigQuery rose. But now let's look at the
These are
bottom
the
chart.
top questions.
These are the top questions for BigQuery
Nice.
by the number of views that they get each quarter. So what I'm trying to symbolize with each of the different colors is each quarter. So these questions are sorted by the number of views that they got the last
Right,
quarter.
that's the first block.
But
Oh.
yes. So here you can see that some questions have a long
Right.
history, like how to set Google application credentials. That's question number 2 this quarter, but also it's getting a lot of views
Yeah.
every quarter. And then, a kind of new question, but also gets a lot of views is delete duplicate rows from a BigQuery
Nice.
table. As you can see, it doesn't have such a long story, but it has a lot of views this quarter. And to finish, in our last 3 minutes, let me show you the code to do this on GitHub as Rainy
Yes.
wanted, because we are bringing everything together with DBT and our time series analysis, but we have more. So how did I get the quarterly page views from a place that had none? Go back to the code that you were
right
just
there.
showing me. That was a good one. Yeah, you were in the perfect place. Yes. So let me tell, what's my secret to get the quarterly page views? If I only have a column that says total number of page views?
I don't know, you must have I'm guessing you merged it with some other data set, but take a look here.
So what I did is I have a quarterly copy of this
oh my
dataset.
goodness, you manually did it.
So yes, so if you have a snapshot of every quarter, then you can say the difference between every quarter. And that's the from FHB query Stack Overflow archive questions Q star.
Oh, up here.
Look at the line number 5.
Okay, so it's like Q1,
Yes.
Q2, Q3.
Exactly. That's how, and what this query is doing is, if you look at line number 24, is looking at the view count minus the view count on the previous quarter.
What's lag do?
Lag, it looks at the previous
Oh,
one.
cool.
So I'm looking at,
Always wanted to do that.
So I'm partitioning there by the ID of the question and sorting it quarter by quarter. And I look at the previous view count, and that gives me the view count for this question each month.
That's amazing.
Yes. Let's go back a little up. So Rennie is happy that we finally brought everything together. We were going somewhere with this. Show me a little bit on the top of this. Let's go back to the parent folder of this one. So we want to look at models. So I take the results of that. From source merge, I go to merge 2020-06, tag views. And now I'm getting all of the questions. And I'm adding the views per tag. So that's why you see here at select tag quarter and sum all of the views. That's line 10. This is the number of views per tag. And then to normalize it,
you have this hilarious
because Rainy wants more comments. But Rainy, these are my comments. They're live. I know I should comment my comments. But
that's what these videos are for. These are video
that
comments. Much richer.
These are video comments. How cool is it? You get me commenting live. This is the other thing you wanted, was normalizing. I'm taking the quarter views of that tag, and I'm dividing it by the sum of all the quarter views of all Stack Overflow. And that's my normalizing step.
Sum of all quarter views, yeah.
And
is that only of the ones that we're looking at, like those 10, or is it everything? Whew.
Everything. Yes, this is all of Stack Overflow. So you can jump to a very obscure tag
it's gonna be a lot.
Do this. And if you go back and you look at dash tag views growth merge,
very short.
Yes, this is my dashboard. I'm getting, for the dashboard, I'm taking the statistics per tag, and I'm joining it with another table where I have a lot of tags, stats per tag.
And that's what we were seeing.
And this gets
here,
materialized.
Right? That's what we were seeing in this the UI earlier. The lineage. So these two were getting merged to make this one.
Exactly. So you can see here exactly
Yeah.
what we did. I
Yep,
took the
that we
source.
started
I
with.
took all of these tables for each quarter. I merged the tag views. On one hand, I have statistics, and at the end, I created a table that's the one we are visualizing in
Perfect.
Data Studio. And for people that wanted to see time series analysis that stayed with us until now, let me show you a secret.
Where?
Don't tell anyone, but this is what I had prepared, and we are going to see soon. Go to the
Next tab.
uh, next page. This is the secret. Thank you for staying until now. Oh, Rennie says that the video comments are. Look, on half of this chart, you see data until Q2 2020.
Oh, snap. It's the future.
And on the other half of the chart, you can see the future.
It's the crystal ball.
These are my predictions of where things are going to go. For example, if you wanted to see Go versus Ruby again.
Uh-oh.
Go versus Ruby. Come on, Chrome, you can do it. We're almost on time, but we need to do this. This is the future. Versus Ruby.
That's fun. Look at that shape. It's not just
the future.
The future is now.
It reflects. Yes, look at Ruby versus Go in 2023, according to our predictions, and we can't tell when things are going to do. Why did you open that?
I was trying to make it bigger, and I must have misclicked.
Okay, and last one that we want to see, R versus Pandas.
Oh, that's an interesting pairing.
Yeah, because Python is eating the world, but let's see just R versus Pandas for people that are doing data science in R versus Python.
R only.
Is this cool, my friends? Looking at the future, or no one knows the future, but at least we're getting predictions that make sense, and they are using all of the information that we have encoded in time series.
Nice. Now, even the present day, right? Like the fact that these are dead heat is really telling in terms of just like, wow. The times are changing.
Exactly. So hopefully the people that came for time series got excited about our next
That's
episode.
Right. We'll explain how this was made, right? Yes.
Exactly. But we installed DBT today. We processed it. We created time series on Stack Overflow. The first part to analyze time series, we needed to get this time series, and we did it all with DBT. And the code is on GitHub, and you can run it at home.
What an action-packed day!
We did a lot in 1 hour only. Thank you, Yufeng.
Thank you, Felipe, and thank you to everybody who joined us today. As always, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. And I guess, we're a little bit over time, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And we'll see you, I guess, hopefully in 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays from now. And stay safe. Wear a mouth covering when you go out in public. Stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah. And if your Chrome is telling you to refresh it. Even it just went from yellow to red.
I think it's gonna force an update on me in like the next 5 minutes or something. So I better sign off before it cuts my stream off for me.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you very much. Stay safe. Send us your questions. We would love to do the show that you want us to do. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you.